This is the Eclectic Discussion Podcast.
What's up, everybody? EDP, Collect Discussion Podcast. The random thought shows are a hit, so I'm doing more. Hey, I am a man of the people, a part of the people. I will give you what you listen to. If you like this and you click the thumbs up and star ratings or whatever, or tweet or DM and say, yo, that was the one, then that's what we do. So this time, 80's, because I gotta keep it at 80's and the 90's. 80's toy random thoughts. See, the 80's were the greatest decade for just about anything pop culture, especially toys. I defy you to find a better assortment of wonderfulness. The kids these days don't even play anymore, let alone have great toys to occupy their mind. See, we had no handhelds, no internet, barely had video games. All we needed was a few figures, a board game or two, and our imagination. And listen, case in point, was it really easy bake? It seems like cake by light bulb was not the easiest or the quickest way to the finish. I don't know if easy bake was the best name for that contraption. Never had one. I saw a girl one. She lived across the way. She had one. You take the light bright, put the pegs in where it says the colors, go, and then you're done. And you turn the light on and the light's up. The problem was that was it. You could never do that particular one again. It was a wrap. Like, oh, look, the clown. All right, now let's go do the whatever the fuck. Now let's do the clown again. Nope. It's already holed up. You don't know what colors to put. So we then take the pegs and spit them at each other through straws. That was the thing. Slot cars. Slot cars and racetracks were dope until you realize you spent more time putting the cars back on the track than actually watching them race. Like, I had the Dukes of Hazzard joint with the ramp, and then the Boss Hog, the Roscoe police car had the lights and the sirens actually worked, and it was great. But then it fall off and you put it back on, and still great though. I don't think the WWF figures would have been as much fun if they had bendable joints. You just had the big rubber joints. Those was dope. Those were really dope and super durable. Why the big wheel, the green machine? Like, why was it called the green machine? You remember the green machine with the lever, I just never understood why that color. Speaking of green, Castle Grayskull, at best, was a carrying case for He-Man figures. The figures barely fit through the little trap door upstairs. You turn the throne, and none of the stuff really was. It was just, man, throw your figures in there and carry them to your room or outside or something. That was basically what it was best for. So, according to these toys, human babies grew from a garden of cabbage. That didn't make any sense, but people were beating up people's parents for them. They had Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos before all the Chuck Norris jokes. The toys were an actual joke, though. Those sucked. She-Ra should have been more muscular. Teela was more diesel than She-Ra. And I'm not talking about when she was not She-Ra and she was whatever the fuck her name was, Ariel, or I don't know. She looked the same. Give her some muscles. Grubby. Remember Grubby? Grubby was Teddy Ruxpin's boy. What was Grubby? Like a giraffe dog or I really honestly don't know. If you listen to this, please, I'm not gonna look it up. So tell me what Grubby was. I have no idea what the grubster was. Um, Jacks. Remember playing Jacks? You bounce the ball, scoop the Jacks, and the hula hoop. Those were entertaining at some point for some length of time. Imagine giving those to kids now. It wouldn't go so swell. The Rock Lords. The Rock Lords were toys. Tonka made those. They should have stuck to trucks. Like, oh, look, I have a rock. It turns into a guy, and now it's a rock. Yeah, Rock Lords. What if Gargamel met Strawberry Shortcake at her crew? It would have been a wrap because he wanted to eat the little blue. We don't know what Smurfs taste like, but if he would have met, what was it, blueberry stuffing or whoever her crew was, they wouldn't have lasted a day. They wouldn't have lasted a day. All right, people that are listening, Eclectic Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, let me know. Hot Wheels or Matchbox? I think they both have their merits, but like Hot Wheels are more famous. They're more popular, but Matchbox was all right. Just asking. When the superpower toys came out, do you remember Marvel figures? Like, did they even exist? Nobody cared about Marvel figures. When the superpowers joints, the DC joints, they was out of here. Thinking about it, shouldn't it have been Hologram and the Gems? Because technically, she was a hologram, which is also stupid. Because you can't be a hologram on stage singing and stuff and nobody knows. A hologram is a projection. They would have looked like so it's a 360 projection from nothing that just sticks with you because Synergy wasn't a projector. It was dumb, but we didn't think about that then. Who designed those guys, the masters of the universe? Like, why they all look like they was going to ride a horse? That was never understood that. All right, I was going to say something about Rainbow Bright, but so I never had one, but Zoids, those were dope. I would have made something to kill all of my other toys, I'm sure. Zoids. If you don't know what Zoids are, look up Zoids. Zoids were dope. Also were dope. I have no clue why, but Mad Balls were dope. I have no idea why we liked Mad Balls, but they were cool. It was just balls with an ugly face on it, but we wanted all of them. I never had the ugly baseball one. That was the one. Screwface. I don't know what the name is. Okay, so we got Hot Wheels or Matchbox. Do we go Speak and Spell or See and Say? It's another one you gotta pick. Where were the GoBots supposed to go? Anyway, where you going? Fucking Coptor and Psykill. Oh, terrible names. Awful names. And they were first. How are you first and the worst? No one played with Starcom figures on purpose. All I wanted in life was to shoot my fist off like Shogun Warriors. This was crazy dope. And huge. Oh, I never had any because we were so poor. I could never get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. The cartoon, sure. The movie, fine. The video game, yeah, until you get in the water. But the toys came out, and I was like, man, I don't really care. I think I was getting close to being, over toys. I mean, but now I have pay me no attention. The best was that one kid who had a G.I. Joe Battleground play set his father built in the basement. That guy, he had all the friends in the neighborhood and the coolest father in the neighborhood. Proportionately speaking, those were huge marbles. And the hippos should have choked and died. Just saying. Not sure why the humanoids existed. Those weren't dope. If you owned any Police Academy toys, they were probably your only friends because no one had those. You watched the movie, but no one was clamoring for the toys. When you left the Play-Doh open and it would get all dry and salty and chalky looking, that was yuck. I hated that. That's when you threw it at people. But that was after you tried to revive it by running water over it and made it worse. And you just had to just throw it at people and hit them in the face with some old dough. I was going to ask Bigfoot or the animal, but none of you guys would know what I'm talking about, so never mind that. I had that McDonald's Rubik's Cube. It had, so for the colors, it was menu items on all the sides. That was dope. You couldn't cheat with that one because otherwise you just take the colors off and swap them around, but that was the whole thing. For my money, the Shirt Tails would have crushed the Get Along Gang. Get Along Gang had no powers. Shirt Tails had the magic t-shirts. so they're better. No one actually had robotics. Well, I did. And I made some things. They moved and then I made some more, but nobody else had them. And everyone looked at me like I was a weirdo. Robotics was dope. And it had a cool theme song. Once Transformers had Beast Wars and Headmasters, they were no longer cool and you shouldn't have been playing with them. You're lame. Unless you were just coming of age around that time and that was all you knew and you didn't know the great stuff before it. No, you still lame. You should have had a cool older brother to give you his stuff or something. I don't know. The coolest of the cool used the muscle guys as erasers on their pencils at school. That's when you were cool. You had the muscles like, because also, what else would you gonna use those things for? Oh, and then, so the two catalogs you had the best catalog and you had the Hills catalog. There's nothing in the world was better. When the holiday catalogs came out, you could just sit there. It would be the equivalent of giving a kid now a PlayStation 5 and just leave them alone. If you gave us the best or the Hills catalog, we'd just sit there for hours. I mean, later on, we're going to tell you everything we want, but, it was great. Whoever did the pictures and the setup for those catalogs deserves something. We were also very trusting kids. Like, sure, I'll mail out for a G.I. Joe that may or may not exist and wait months for it to come. Like, oh, you want Cobra Commander? Oh, no, just mail this stuff in and some money. All right. Did it come yet? No. But then when you saw somebody that had like refrigerator Perry, then you beat them up and take it. You don't have to do anything. Hey, I'm gonna play with these action figures that roll giant insects. These sectors are fun. Wasn't it like hand puppets? And oh my god, wasn't it one of the things that they rolled on like a puppet and then you put your hand? Oh, sectors, awful. Visionaries I thought were cool, but they came out at the wrong time, and no one had time for those when G.I. Joes were a thing. Alright, so like either the He-Man, they look like they about to ride a horse or they just had explosive diarrhea. I just don't understand the leg. I used to make Transformers with my Legos. They were like my red shirts for missions. Because if you were nice enough, you could do it and you could turn them into... Look, don't sleep on that. It seemed like every kid had like 12,000 Star Wars toys. And they were all different and all loose and broken. only the cream of the crop had the Darth Vader carrying case. But like you would just see Star Wars toys and none of them were like, they were all loose. loose joints, just arms swinging around. No one had any pristine Star Wars toys. But like the 80s, this is the greatest decade, seriously. Only then you could have food fighters and barnyard commandos. The food fighters were for weird kids, period. And then the barnyard commandos were for psychopaths. You had barnyard commandos, Private Sidle Bacon, Captain Tusker Chitlins, General Hamfat Lardo. The fuck, yo! If you had, what were you up to? Galoob was a company name. You would think that all the black action figures should have been made by Hasbro. That nothing. Well, all right. What loser had any of these toys and kept them sealed? Seriously, even if your family was rich enough to buy two of each, who asked for two of each? You better give me He-Man and that Snuggle Box Blue Faker. Don't give me two. Like, but who? Like, it was people that like sealed. That's crazy. Maybe it was like fathers that got stuff for their kids and then lost custody and just put it in the attic. It was like, fuck that kid. No, all right, never mind. I'm sorry. The greatest thing about the Transformers was when you got a toy and you got to fold out all the other toys in the line, like the big poster, and you'd be like, I want this one. I want that one. Who's that? And you had to go down and read the name, and he wasn't on the cartoon. Yeah, I never got any of those. So, look, those are my random thoughts. 80s toys. Who knows what I'm up to? But I appreciate you taking 16, 17 minutes to listen to me ramble on about it, unless you fast forward to right now and screw you. But I appreciate it, and until the next time, appreciation.
With your wrinkled pussy, I can't be your lover.